I've been using ChatGPT and Claude for the past 2 years almost daily, and I just found out that I've been using about 10% of what it actually can do. In this past week, I built the other 90%. So instead of just being a chatbot that answers my questions, it actually goes out on the web and does things for me. Hey, I'm Shane Vigent. I'm the founder of Tonewood Marketing, and I'm going to show you how to grow any business in this crazy age of AI by first testing everything out on my own agency and then reporting back to you to show you what works and what doesn't. So if you're growing any kind of business, let me show you a few things I tried this week and what came of them. Just to show you that I know what I'm talking about, the last 3 client websites that I built ranked #1 on Google for their name within the first couple of weeks of publishing. All of those also received contact form leads on the site within 2 weeks of publishing. I've been featured on Josh Hall's Web Designer Pro podcast that has over 900,000 downloads. And I do all of this on the side just as a freelance business aside from my full-time job. So when I tell you how to automate something, I am doing it from actual experience. I only have a set amount of time, a set amount of hours each day to work on my business and then weekends. So anything that I find that helps save me time to handle all of the different work that I'm doing, I promise you it has been tested and I will show you how it all works. So the things that I'm about to tell you, I did not figure it out on my own. I actually learned the approach from Devin Karps, who is the founder of True Traction AI. I'll make sure to put his LinkedIn link in the description below so you can check him out. So if you want detailed training, step-by-step, everything that I went through, go and reach out to him for his professional training. I'm just going to distill the important things that I learned from it and then show you how I implemented it into my business. First one is skills, which are saved instructions for any job that you do more than once. The second one are scheduled tasks that run without me. The third one are connectors, so I'm allowing Claude to actually go into the tools that I use and do things for me. The fourth one is a live dashboard of all the numbers that I need to look at a glance to see how well all of my clients are performing. And the last one is my second brain, which has all of my knowledge on my company, my clients, and my typical work habits all programmed into it so that it knows all the context that it needs to help me out the most. All of these save me time, but that last one, the second brain part, is really something that I'm going to be using long term and it's really beneficial, so make sure you stick around to the end for that. And before I dive into all 5 of these, here's one quick tip that you can use right now while you're watching this video. Go into the instructions in Claude and make sure to have it say your name before it gives you any sort of response. So in my case, I would say make sure before you respond with anything, make sure you say Shane first. That way, if you're chatting with Claude for a very long time and it doesn't say your name first, then you know it's not even going back to the base instructions. It's not even like listening to the first instructions that it gave you. So that means it's time for a new chat because that context has basically degraded over time. Okay, so the first thing is skills. And this basically eliminates the need for writing and copy and pasting prompts from your Notes app to Claude or ChatGPT. So you don't have to do that copy and paste manually anymore. You can actually program skills into Claude to do things for you at a repeatable pace. And usually the instructions that are included in these skills end up with better results than just a prompt anyway. Prompts need your own context to actually be useful. So you can now program skills that know your business and your tendencies, and it'll produce way better results for you actually using AI agents. All you have to do is go into Claude, click customize, and then you can browse from a list of skills that Claude has already programmed in there. Or a better option is to just go into your chat window, start a new chat, and then ask it to create a skill for you. And you want to have it create a skill for you on anything that you do more than once. So repeatable tasks that you constantly have to give it instructions for, that is a perfect example of why you would use a skill. Tip number 2 is scheduled tasks. You can have Claude actually do things for you without you prompting it to do it. So every single week, I have a weekly review. So everything that I communicate with my Claude account with, it will give me a summary on every Friday at 4 p.m. telling me what I accomplished that week, what tickets are open, if I have emails that I didn't respond to, or any chats that were, didn't reach a conclusion, or if I actually followed through on something. So it gives me a kind of a weekly review of everything that I accomplished. That helps me stay accountable to what I'm doing and make sure that I'm not missing anything. This third one here was actually a total game changer for me because I use so many different apps and softwares for my company. I have website builder apps, I have email marketing apps, I have CRM data, I have databases that I connect to. I have so many apps, and basically with connectors and plugins, you can have Claude be your super app, and this is where you're employing AI agents to go into these tools and perform tasks for you. I have it connected to my Google Drive, my Gmail, my Zoom recordings, my Canva account for design, Dropbox for work, Slack for work, all that good stuff. It's literally connected all via this one Claude app. So it is able to perform actions in there as if it is me. So I am just doing what I would normally do, just chatting with Claude and asking it to go and do these things. And then it actually will go into those accounts and do it. For scheduled tasks, all you have to do is just simply ask Claude to set up a scheduled task for you, or you can go over onto the left side menu and click scheduled and create, and you can actually browse through existing ones that they already have that they have proven to be useful for people who use Claude. And with all skills and scheduled tasks, I always give you the option to, I'm saying to you right now, you can just browse through existing ones, but truthfully, I would recommend just having Claude reverse interview you and ask what you want out of the scheduled task, what you want out of these skills, what is the actual output, what is the results you want to get from it, and have it ask you questions so that you give it the context and it's personalized to you. Don't just take some prompt that somebody else created and then plug it into yours, because it may not be built specifically for your business and it may not be as helpful as you need it to be. So I would suggest building all of these on your own, and you don't even need to know how to work all the back-end stuff. You literally just ask Claude how to do all of these things for you, and it will go and do them. Honorable mention for the skills and the scheduled tasks is what's called plugins. And you can find these by clicking customize in the left side column and clicking on plugins. And you'll see a bunch of options there, which basically pre-program skills into your Claude so you don't have to go and write all of them yourself. There's a small business plugin, there is a marketing plugin, there is a legal plugin, and it basically employs your Claude account with all of the skills necessary to run a small business, do basic marketing tasks, and review legal things for compliance reasons. All things that you may not have the knowledge to program a skill yourself, like you may not actually know how to do these things. So it kind of just sets you up for success that way, and I'm sure they're gonna improve and add on to these in the future. And the fourth thing I want to show you is a dashboard that I built with Claude Artifacts. So this is essentially showing me all of my clients' monthly Google Analytics data, and it's being pulled directly from a Google Analytics account. So I can just take a look at a glance at the numbers and see how well all of my clients are performing. And I don't have to go into each individual account separately and take hours of time dissecting the data and figuring out what action steps need to be taken next. So it's just something that I can just look at a quick glance, see the performance, and then take action when it's actually needed. If you want to employ something like this yourself, you can actually just ask Claude, hey, I want a dashboard for something to monitor XYZ in my business. Can you actually go and build something like that for me and make sure that it's live and updating? You can just ask Claude to do these things for you, and it will go and program those pieces. But first, talk with it and see what would be most useful for you, because if you're just gathering a bunch of data that's not really necessary, it's not really going to serve any purpose for you. And number 5 is the system that pulls all of these things together and turns Claude or ChatGPT from just a chatbot that you have to constantly give it instructions into your own personal assistant that knows everything about you, the way you work, the way you write, all of that good stuff. And we call it your second brain. The second brain practically eliminates the need for you to provide additional instructions whenever you're asking your AI agent, whether it's Claude or ChatGPT, to actually do things for you, because it is pre-programmed with all of your client data, your business data, the things that you were working on this week, last week, the week before, the month before, and it remembers all of those pieces, and it has the context already programmed into it, so that whenever you actually are working on new pieces or you're working on the same thing over and over again, it already has the context without you having to pre-program it. It is essentially just a file system that you are giving to Claude to go and find all of this stuff for you without you having to put in that input. So there are folders in there on my business, on my writing style, on my previous work. I have weekly reports that are added into there every single week at the week end, so that it knows what I've currently been working on. It's got instructions on actual repeatable tasks that I do. It's got my skills in there. It's got kind of like a little bit of everything. And really it has saved me so much time. And the cool part about this is that this file system doesn't just live on my Claude, it actually lives on my computer. So that if ChatGPT comes out with a new model that's way better than Claude, I can literally just unplug my second brain from Claude and plug it into ChatGPT and then use it just the same, and it'll have all the context without me having to go and give it all those instructions again and retrain it again. If there's a brand new AI company that comes out with a brand new AI model that's 10 times better and everybody's moving to that one, I can literally just unplug it and plug it into the new one. So that's a really great benefit to it, and not having to spend all that time manually importing all of your data in there. It's already, exists on your computer, and you can just, plug and play. One thing with this, and as I'm recording this is August 2026, is that in order to do this file system, you have to download the actual desktop app on Claude. You can't do this in the browser, so you actually need to download the Claude desktop app so that I can access your computer's files. So you just need to do that for Claude. I'm not totally sure about ChatGPT. Maybe you can look into doing that, but I'd imagine it's a similar thing, because if it's actually downloaded onto your computer, you can go and use it on your computer files. And one last thing I want to touch on at the very end of all of this is that yes, all of these tools are saving me money, and I will give you more information later on, like as I use these tools for more use cases and how we can actually implement it into certain types of businesses. The point I want to drive home is that running a business is hard, growing a business is difficult, and a lot of what makes it difficult also makes it, you really good at what you do. And by implementing a bunch of AI automated tools that do things for you, I kind of feel like it's taking away the thinking aspect of it a little bit, and it's you're just making your life easier, and it's making way for new problems and other things to be solved, and it's saving you time to focus on the things that matter. But all these things do matter, and it's really important that when you build these things and when you use AI, you're being mindful of how you're using it, and you're still putting your own agency into these pieces, and that you are reviewing the outputs and not just taking the AI results as is. Everything that I've shown you today will help save you time and help you grow your business and automate a lot of the things that you do, I'm sure. But you want to make sure that you are still using that critical thinking aspect of your brain, and using these tools to your advantage, but not having them do everything for you. That's all these are. They're just tools to help save you time so that you can, I can run a one-man shop and have dozens of clients all at one time. That's all it really is, and but it's still very important to do these hard pieces of the job, and that is, again, what makes you good at what you do. So keep that in mind as you use all these tools, and just make sure that you are still employing agency into your company. And again, I am the test dummy here. I will show you how these tools, how my actions that I'm doing to grow my company are actually working to save you time. So that's it. This is kind of long-winded at the very end here, but I hope this video has been useful for you, and thanks so much for watching.